The NBA is full of talented players, but who is the best of the best picks for this season based on their performance, their potential, and their leadership? Stay tuned to find out. At only 25, he has already rocked the stats with 26.2 points, 3 boards, and dished out 10.2 assists per game in the 2022-23 season. He's got a serious game with those scoring skills, and an eagle eye for assists. Plus, he's young and has not entered his peak era yet, so more chances of learning and development. Jason Tatum has been tearing up the court, posting 30.1 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game last season. He's had a taste of the finals, and the Celtics bet he's hungry for more. From his defensive skills to his three-point magic, Nikola is now with the Nets, where he's stepped up his game, averaging 26.1 points and 4.5 rebounds per game. So, if he keeps it up, he might just lead the Nets to a winning season. Last season, LaMelo Ball averaged 23.3 points, 6.4 rebounds, 8.4 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game. And despite battling injuries, the Charlotte Hornets' number 3 draft pick in 2020 showcased his amazing passing vision and basketball IQ throughout his career. That's why, with 2 strong seasons and a Rookie of the Year title, he's primed for even more success. DeMar DeRozan lit it up with 24.5 points, 4.6 rebounds, 5.1 assists, 1.1 steals, and 0.5 blocks per game in the previous season. With killer mid-range shots, fierce attacks, improved defense, less than stellar team performance, and clutch skills, DeRozan is a star, and he's not slowing down in 2024. At 27, Donovan Mitchell is hitting his stride, blending athleticism with top-notch scoring with an impressive 28.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.5 steals, and 0.4 blocks per game. He even dropped 71 points in a single game last season. As he kicks off his Cavaliers career, he's poised to carve out his place in the team's history books, alongside the legendary LeBron James. Luka Doncic has notched 32.4 points, 8.6 rebounds, 8.0 assists, 1.4 steals, and 0.5 blocks per game in just 5 seasons. He snagged 4 All-Star and All-NBA nods and even led the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. This guy's got the whole package: size, skills, and leadership. The big Serbian has been tearing it up in the NBA for 8 years, racking up 24.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, 9.8 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.7 blocks per game. This guy made 5 All-Star and All-NBA teams, snatched 2 MVPs, and even a Finals MVP. Detroit Pistons top pick Cade Cunningham is making waves with 19.9 points, 6.2 rebounds, 6.0 assists, and 0.8 steals, and 0.6 blocks per game. This 22-year-old is just getting started, and he's destined for all-star stardom. The Golden State Warriors may have added Chris Paul to the team, but let's face it, Stephen Curry is still their MVP. He's the ultimate sharpshooter, averaging 29.4 points per game, with insane shooting percentages, and even with some rest days, Curry's still ruling the court and ready to shine alongside Damian Lillard and Ja Morant. Jalen Green has mad skills, but when it comes to experience and leadership, Van Vliet is the main man for the Rockets. With his championship experience and solid defense, Houston's set for a positive change, as his presence will also boost young guns like Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr. Tyrese Haliburton, drafted by the Sacramento Kings, quickly stepped up his game, making the all-rookie team in his first year. Now, with the Indiana Pacers, his stats are climbing. He's a player maker and is smart on the court, so with him leading the charge, the Pacers could be on the rise. Kawhi Leonard brings top-tier defense and scoring to the table. Despite his injury history, he's a game changer, and the Clippers are counting on him for a powerful season. After all, he led Toronto to a championship the last time he played most games. LeBron James, the seasoned veteran, might be pushing 40 in 2024, but he's anything but average. This man's a master of self-care and shows no signs of slowing down, and his leadership and skill are still a marvel, even if playing 65 games seems like a tall order. Ja Morant burst onto the scene as a high-flying threat after being drafted second overall in 2019. He's got it all: athleticism, skill, and heaps of potential. Though he hit a rough patch last season, with a bit more maturity, he's shaping up to be a star this season. Whether defending, leading, or coming in clutch, Jimmy Butler has led Miami to 2 NBA Finals in 4 seasons, and he's not slowing down. With his all-star skills and playoff prowess, plus the potential addition of Damian Lillard, Butler's ready to lead the Heat to glory. In just 4 NBA seasons, Giannis Antetokounmpo has gone from an underdog to a total beast. As a 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP, he put the Bucks on his back to snatch the NBA title in 2021. And at 29, he's a top-tier player, and no doubt he'll keep dominating the court this season. Anthony Edwards, the top pick in 2020, is scoring an average of 24.6 points per game. He's a rising star, drawing lots of attention for his skills and potential. As he grows with the Timberwolves, we expect even more greatness from this offensive dynamo this season. He has the skills, but his past injury and weight make people worry. Yet, he still has the potential to be a superstar. With some focus on wellness, he has untapped talent just waiting to explode. Forget Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson's the one to watch on the Knicks this season. In his first year in New York, he averaged 24.0 points and 6.2 assists, and as a slick ball handler with top-notch slashing skills, he's on the rise. He was an absolute baller last season, racking up 13.4 points per game. As a point guard, he's got it all: scoring, playmaking, and even grabbing those boards. So, if his teammates like Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren step up, the Thunder will be a powerhouse in the West in no time. The 2022-23 Rookie of the Year, this 21-year-old forward is already dominating with 20.0 points and 6.9 boards per game. Bet he's going to be a star for years to come. Joel Embiid, the reigning MVP, is a scoring and defending ace, but he's yet to lead the 76ers to the finals. With Harden out, all eyes are on him. He's a scoring machine and a huge part of the Phoenix Suns' comeback, where his skills and leadership got them to the finals in 2022. At 27, without a doubt, he's the top shooting guard around and will keep shining for the Suns this season. Scott Henderson, drafted 3rd overall, is the future face of Portland and heir to Damian Lillard's throne. With his mad skills and strong mindset, he's eyeing that Rookie of the Year title. This rising star at point guard is known for his speed and crafty scoring. He made his mark, scoring an average of 25.0 points and dishing out 6.1 assists per game last season, an all-star debut leading the Kings to the playoffs. To soar even higher, he needs to work on his three-point game. Making waves as a rookie, drawing comparisons to the greats like LeBron James, he's a force on the court at 7 feet 3 inches, showing off top-tier skills in scoring, defending, and rebounding. While playoffs might not be in the cards for the Spurs, he has the potential to reach the heights of legends like Tim Duncan and David Robinson. The Raptors might be tossing around the idea of trading Pascal Siakam, but it seems like he's sticking around for now. Pascal's not just a stellar defender, he's got great skills on offense too, putting up 24.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game. So even if trade rumors keep swirling around, he's bound to keep making waves on the court. He really surprised everyone with his solid stats, 25.6 points and 8.6 rebounds per game with the Utah Jazz. The Finnish player is also a versatile defender and rebounder. With Bradley Beal out of the picture, all eyes are on Jordan Poole as the potential big shot for the Wizards down the road, as he's got moves that keep defenders on their toes. Averaging 20.4 points at just 24, he's set to shine as the team's next top player.
Long lead. Jokic. Yes, fans, let's put him in the dunk contest. Pass to Jokic. Now to KJ Moore.
Since the beginning, the NBA has always had a face. In the olden days, it was Wilt Chamberlain. Following Wilt came Kareem, then Magic, Jordan, Kobe, and most recently it's been LeBron. LeBron is 38 years old now, and soon enough, he's gonna have to hang it up unless he just decides to mess around and play with whoever drafts Bronny for a season or two. Being the face of the NBA doesn't just mean having the best shooting, dribbles, passes, or even being the best player in the league.
Chalmers, Cole, James! Let me shut up. James off the steal. James with the stop. LeBron James, here he comes, hitting ahead for Wade. There he goes. Oh!
The face of the NBA just has to be that guy. Not necessarily putting up the best stats, but someone with a killer instinct and is adored by fans nationally. The guy that makes it to the finals and has his opponents shuddering in fear. Guys like MJ and Kobe famously went 6-0 and 5-2 respectively in the finals. Playing against MJ was every team's nightmare. As of late, we don't really think there is a face for the NBA. The NBA right now is probably the most talented it's ever been. You're starting to see all-stars like Jokic and Giannis. Curry's still gonna be there, even though we think he got shadowed by LeBron. And the best prospect of all time in any sport, Victor Wembanyama, was just drafted this year, so you never know who might become the face of the league. We honestly think the idea of there being one face of the league hurts the spirit of the game. The NBA right now is at an all-time high in our opinion, and it's hard to imagine one player dominating it. At least the way you know LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe were. Year after year, they were seen as the best players in the league, regardless of whatever happened throughout the season. Off the court was the same, the cultural impact they had, how they influenced the game, and had everybody wanting to be them. In our opinion, and we know it's early to say, but since 2020, the best player in the NBA has changed every year. First it was LeBron, then in 2021, it was between Giannis and Kevin Durant. In 2022, it was Curry, and now it's 2023, and it's Jokic. Players are coming in, and players are getting washed out. The new era is here, and maybe this is just what basketball is. So, we think it's gonna be very hard for a player to have that level of impact again. Now, don't get our words twisted. We're not saying a player will never be that good at basketball again. We do have some potential prospects. The NBA is extremely talented right now, and it's only going to get better. Multiple players fighting for that face of the NBA spot, and they're all going to have great cases. Starting off, we've got Ja Morant. Morant was drafted second overall during the 2019 NBA draft by the Memphis Grizzlies.
Morant against McConnell. Pick and roll. Morant. Oh! In this first half, nice pick by Anderson. Morant leaves it, give it right back. Morant. Oh, my goodness!
He signed a 4-year contract worth $39.6 million with the Grizzlies, and at the end of the season, he was named the NBA Rookie of the Year. So, he does have the talent for it. Morant had led all rookies in assists with an average of 7.1 assists per game, as well as total points scored, with 1,138 or 17.8 points per game. And even now, Morant has all the makings to become the face of the NBA, with his extraordinary athleticism, amazing handles, his explosive dunks, lightning-quick crossovers, and his ability to make highlight reel plays on the regular, like pinning the ball of the backboard or catching an alley-oop. Beyond his on-court skill, Morant is full of charisma and has a magnetic personality that resonates with fans of all ages. And honestly, if he had his shit together, it was like an undisputed fact that he would have been the face by now. But his antics always get the best of him. In his short career, he's faced 2 major suspensions and has often been caught in the middle of major drama, like pointing a gun at other players, or going to shoe stores and harassing the employees. He's just all over the place. Next up, we've got Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Chris Middleton intercepts, drops it off to Giannis! Up against Vanderbilt. Oh, the that good gracious Giannis!
Giannis Antetokounmpo is a 28-year-old Greek-Nigerian forward for the Bucks. His home country, in addition to his size, speed, strength, and ball-handling skills, have earned him the nickname the Greek Freak. Giannis is kind of the most obvious pick that jumps out, just because he's arguably the best player in the league right now. He's got 2 MVPs, a ring, and he's third in jersey sales. I mean, he's got some good things going for him, but if I'm being honest, I really don't think he's the one. Keeping in mind that LeBron still has a few more years to go, is the next face of the NBA really going to be a 30-year-old Giannis? Isn't the face of the NBA someone we've been waiting for since high school? Someone who's on top of the league for years on end. Giannis just doesn't have all that much time ahead of him, and even if he did, he's just too humble. Correct me if I'm wrong, but to be the face of the league, you kind of need to have a bit of that outgoing, brash personality. LeBron's also very humble, but he's still more of a loudmouth and a show-off. You know what I mean, right? Also, he's a foreign player, and we feel like foreign players just have a tougher time being marketed in America, because the NBA is still a very American league, and the vast majority of NBA players are from the States. Next up, we've got Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is the point guard for the Dallas Mavericks, also playing for the Slovenian national team, and is regarded as one of the greatest European players to ever step foot on the court.
Gotta get it in. Here's Luka. Gets it away. It's gone! A Doncic dagger!
Doncic's rise in the NBA has been nothing short of remarkable, as he possesses the qualities that could fundamentally position him as the face of the league. His on-court skill marked by a combination of exceptional IQ.
Doncic down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Doncic for the win. Oh yeah! Luka Doncic!
Unparalleled passing and scoring ability has garnered worldwide fame. Doncic's style of play is both showy and strategic, so he knows when to throw down and when to get in line. He's already putting up ridiculous stats at such a young age, so he could in theory be the next in line. But here's where it goes down south. Is the NBA really going to make a foreign player their face? We don't think so. And that's not even his fault. He has the skill for it, and he might be getting there in terms of fans too. But one more place where he lacks is, and I know this shouldn't be an issue, but his sense of style. Most of the guys before him had people trying to be them. Kids wore their shoes, tried to play like them, and acted like them. And does Doncic really have that? We don't know. So this pretty much sums it up. There isn't anyone else that we think could be the face of the league, at least between all the guys that are playing right now. Heck, if we're being honest, it could be someone that's not even in the NBA right now. It could be an 8th grader destroying his competition as we speak, just waiting to be noticed. When we were children, almost everyone dreamt of becoming a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer. But since then, times have changed. Kids these days dream of becoming a professional athlete, namely an NBA player. Some of the players in the league right now are heroes to millions of the next generation. But that's not the case for everybody in the league, namely the star of today's video, Nikola Jokic. Jokic is a Serbian professional basketball player who is a center for the Denver Nuggets of the National Basketball Association, nicknamed the Joker and hailed as the greatest draft steal in NBA history. He's regarded as one of the greatest centers of all time. Standing at just under 7 feet tall, Jokic is one of the top dogs in the league. He's a 5-time NBA All-Star and has been named to the All-NBA team on 5 occasions, including 3 first-team selections. He's been crowned the NBA Most Valuable Player or MVP, not once but twice up till now. Achieving all this, one would think that he lives and breathes basketball. But that's just not the case with this man. Jokic treats the NBA like any other job and can't wait to sit back and relax in his home country, back in Serbia, when the season is over. But let's step back. We'll take you through the meteoric rise of Nikola Jokic. Born and raised in Sombor, Serbia, the 28-year-old has always been a fan of basketball, but he only started playing professionally at the age of 17. In the summer of 2012, Jokic signed a contract with Mega Vizura. In his first season there, he mostly only played in their junior team. At the age of 17, he appeared in 5 games of the Serbian league and averaged a measly 1.8 points and 2 rebounds in 10.2 minutes per game. Not the sharpest tool in the shed at the time. But now, roughly 10 years later, he's known as one of the greatest centers of all time. When drafted by the Denver Nuggets in the NBA, he was the 41st overall pick. But that's what makes it such a good comeback story. Nobody really cared about him during the draft, not even ESPN, because they threw a Taco Bell ad in our faces when he was getting drafted. Talk about disrespect. The Joker, however, was also fast asleep when the news was announced. As he told us in one of his interviews, he got the news from his brother over the phone, and wouldn't you know, went back to sleep. Jokic recently passed Wilt Chamberlain for the top spot for the center with the most triple-doubles. And if he plays as long as LeBron does, his career is just getting started. Jokic isn't your everyday star player. He's humble and lovable. He's a team player. Nikola made his comeback in 2022-23. He became the first NBA player ever to average a triple-double playing first center. Plus, he recorded a solid 30-plus first-round points, 20-plus rebounds, and 10-plus assists in the finals. What makes Jokic such a humble player? He's unlike any NBA player you see on your screens. He doesn't seem to care all that much about fame or money, even though he's easily made well over $40 million throughout his career. Taking roots in the small town of Sombor, Serbia, Jokic grew up in a small 2-bedroom, cramped-up space. He grew up with 2 brothers who were at the same time almost a foot taller than him and a decade older. You would expect NBA players to have childhood memories of playing in their school fields from an early age. However, Jokic was different from the beginning, showing almost no interest in sports and a good amount of interest in math and his grandma's cooking. Jokic wasn't really a football kid either, like most kids from Serbia. He was more inclined towards horse racing. You need to give his brothers all the credit for his interest in basketball, as they were the ones who introduced and taught Jokic basketball. As a teenager, Jokic's favorite players were Kobe and Michael Jordan. However, he was more inspired by the passing game of Magic Johnson. Fast forward to his post-NBA joining era, Jokic remained humble, just as his brothers taught him. In a famous interview, a reporter asked Jokic, "What has changed about your life since becoming a champion?" And Jokic nonchalantly replied with, "Nothing, absolutely nothing," making the interviewer laugh.
What is one thing that has changed in your life since becoming a champion?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Jokic's laid-back personality is often perceived in different ways by viewers. Some think he has a great sense of humor, while others fail to understand how such a grand NBA player can have no excitement for all the perks that come with being an NBA player. How can a person have more fun and be happier at a small gathering in a small town than in NBA courts? Well, believe it or not, Jokic is that guy. Quite visibly, it does feel like a 9-to-5 job for Nikola to be at games. Now, Jokic is a simple guy. He might be the first player ever to shoot 56.6% from the field, but he's also a man who can't wait to go back home right after the season ends. In his second MVP, Jokic broke his own record by having the highest player efficiency regular season in NBA history at 32.85. Still didn't stop him from getting the nickname the Joker by fans who believed his laid-back personality and lack of interest is sarcasm and irony. Is it? According to his friends, Jokic is a funny guy, both on and outside the field. Jokic is a simple man. The moment the season ends, he wants to go home. For him, being an NBA player is his job. In a famous interview, Jokic seemed bummed about the post-game parade and wanted to go back to his home country as soon as possible, and was even willing to skip the parade.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home.
Now, keep in mind, guys, this is the parade after their big win, and Jokic didn't really care about it. He would rather go to Los Angeles to watch his horses race. He did that. Jokic believes his home is still somber, even after he's moved to Denver after his first season. His brothers, girlfriend, and career are all in Denver. But he still wants to be back home in Sombor. In an interview, he says, "I'm homesick." Jokic says, "I want to go home right now. I mean, I am the third kid, and I'm a little closer with my parents than my brothers are. After my career is over, I'm going back there," Jokic says. It's super slow, not too much going on, but you have everything. Talk about the man who has everything but still chooses to live a simple life. If nothing else, we can learn that from him. If a non-basketball fan ever met Jokic without knowing who he was from their screens, we doubt they'd ever be able to guess who Jokic is. One of the best NBA players in the league, he prefers a quiet life above a famous player's life. From his interviews, it wouldn't be wrong to assume he probably loves his homeland due to what atrocities and cruelties his motherland went through in the 11-week NATO bombing. Jokic was only 4 years old at the time, but as he said, "I remember things like sirens, bomb shelters, always turning off the lights," Jokic says. "We practically lived in the dark. Even at like 9 a.m., everything was turned off." With going through so much violence as a child, it's pretty understandable how he would want nothing but a peaceful, quiet life there with his beloved brothers and his girlfriend in Somber. Jokic currently is back in Somber for the off-season, enjoying his time and being his original, true, humble, and happy self. For him, it's a vacation from this job, which he will have to come back to. But until then, Nikola Jokic is off his 9-to-5 job, where he's very dedicated, but doesn't fantasize or over-prioritize. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one.